Hello everyone, and welcome back to Siou English. Today we're going to talk about something really important for your future career: job interviews. Whether you're a student looking for your first job or someone changing careers, knowing how to perform well in an interview can make all the difference. Let's dive into today's topic: how to succeed in your job interview. Let me start with a story. Megan, a 20-year-old student, went to a job interview earlier this year. She felt really nervous and thought she had failed completely. However, she got the job. Her boss later told her why: she could maintain eye contact and carry on a good conversation. These simple skills made her stand out from other candidates. Now, let's learn some important vocabulary here. The phrase "stand out" means to be noticeably better than others. For example, her excellent presentation made her stand out from the group. We also have carry on a conversation, which means to continue talking with someone in a natural way. You might say, he can carry on a conversation about almost any topic. Interestingly, many hiring managers today notice that some young job seekers are unprepared for interviews. They make mistakes like bringing parents to interviews, refusing to turn on their cameras during virtual meetings, or struggling with eye contact. The word unprepared here is key. It comes from the prefix un meaning not, plus prepared, which means ready. So unprepared simply means not ready. Before you even walk into an interview room, preparation is essential. Think of it this way: you wouldn't take an important exam without studying, right? The same applies to job interviews. One expert says you have only about 6 seconds to catch a recruiter's attention with your resume. That's why your resume must be clear, compelling, and tailored to the specific job. Let me explain the word compelling. It means something that is so interesting or convincing that you cannot ignore it. For instance, the book tells a compelling story about overcoming challenges. When we talk about resumes, a compelling resume makes the employer think, I need to interview this person. Another crucial step is doing your research. You need to thoroughly investigate the company before your interview. The phrase, do your research, is a common expression meaning to gather information and learn about something. We use thoroughly to mean completely or in great detail. So when you research thoroughly, you don't just look at the company's homepage for 5 minutes. You learn about their values, their goals, their culture, and even information about the people who will interview you. Having prepared thoroughly, you're now ready to shine on the interview day itself. When the interview day arrives, several things matter greatly. First, dress professionally. This means wearing appropriate business clothes, even if the company has a casual dress code. The phrase dress code refers to the rules about what clothing is acceptable in a particular place. Business casual usually works best: no jeans, no shorts, no flip-flops. Remember, you're trying to make a good first impression, and you only get one chance to do that. Here's an important phrase: make a good impression. An impression is the opinion or feeling you give to someone when they first meet you. To make a good impression means to cause someone to think positively about you. You can also make a bad impression if things don't go well. During the interview, you'll need to answer questions about your experience. Experts recommend using the STAR technique. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. This means you describe a situation you faced, explain what task needed to be done, tell them what actions you took, and share the results you achieved. This method helps you give clear, structured answers that show your abilities. It's also important to ask your own questions. Your questions should demonstrate your interest and motivation. For example, you might ask, "What does a typical day look like in this role?" Or, "How would you measure success for someone in this position?" Notice that we use demonstrate here, which means to show clearly. Your questions demonstrate, or show, that you care about the job. To further equip you for a successful interview, let's explore some key vocabulary and phrases to enhance your communication. Let me highlight some useful phrases for your interview toolkit. When you want to express that you don't know something, you can say, "I don't have much experience with that particular issue, but let me tell you about a similar situation." This shows you're honest but also resourceful. The word resourceful means able to find clever solutions to problems. In the workplace, being resourceful is highly valued. You might describe someone as resourceful by saying, "She's very resourceful and always finds a way to complete difficult projects." Another useful phrase is get back to someone, which means to contact them later with information or an answer. For example, "I'd like some time to think about that question. May I get back to you with a more detailed answer?" This shows thoughtfulness and professionalism. With the interview complete and your professional communication skills in play, it's time to focus on the critical follow-up steps. The interview doesn't end when you leave the room. Within 24 hours, you should send a thank you email. This message serves two purposes. It shows gratitude for the interviewer's time, and it also reminds them why they should hire you. We use the phrase serves two purposes to mean something does two different things at the same time. When we talk about burning bridges, we mean damaging relationships in a way that cannot be repaired. For example, don't burn bridges with your old employer, you might need a reference from them someday. In the professional world, maintaining good relationships is crucial because you never know when you might encounter these people again. If the company says they'll contact you in 1 week, don't follow up before that time. Being patient shows respect. However, after their stated deadline passes, you can check in once a week. The phrase check-in means to contact someone to get an update or see how things are going. You might say, "I'll check in with them next Monday to see if they've made a decision." Having covered the essential steps for navigating the interview process, let's now summarize the core principles and introduce key vocabulary to reinforce your professional approach. Job interviews are all about preparation, professionalism, and communication. These three elements work together to help you succeed. Let me share some related vocabulary that's useful in professional contexts. When we talk about careers, we often use phrases like pursue a career, to try to build a career, career advancement, moving up in your job, and professional development, improving your work skills. For example, she's pursuing a career in marketing, or this course will help with your professional development. Another important concept is work-life balance, which means having time for both your job and your personal life. Many young people today, especially Generation Z, value work-life balance highly. They want jobs that allow them to live well, not just survive. This is a positive change in workplace culture. Speaking of culture, workplace culture or company culture refers to the shared values, attitudes, and practices within a company. Some companies have a formal culture with strict rules, while others are more relaxed and casual. Understanding a company's culture helps you know if it's the right fit for you. So remember, succeeding in a job interview requires preparation, professionalism, and good communication skills. Research the company, prepare your answers using the STAR technique, dress appropriately, ask thoughtful questions, and always follow up with a thank you message. These steps will help you stand out and increase your chances of getting the job you want. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson on Ladies Show English. On this channel, we share timely news and practical English lessons covering health, food, travel, business, technology, and environmental topics to help you stay connected with the world while improving your English. If you found this helpful, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss any future lessons. Good luck with your next interview, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.